Dan Larson here, and I'm at the Photobooth, taking a look at some of the items I picked up at this past weekend's flea market. Not the biggest flea market haul ever, but there is some cool stuff here. Right up front, we've got the 2006 Toy Biz Spider-Man Origins Secret Wars Spider-Man, usually just called the symbiote suit or the black suit Spider-Man. Don't love this figure. It's alright, I mean, I picked it up. It's a pretty over-articulated Spider-Man figure. I'm not crazy about it. He's got silver there instead of white on his eyes and on his chest. I grabbed it because I'm still looking for a good black Spider-Man, 6-inch Marvel Legends style Spider-Man for my personal collection. I haven't bothered to pick up the Red Hulk figure, Red Hulk Wave figure yet, because of the price. This one was much cheaper than that. However, this is a perfect demonstration of things I don't like, especially about that Toy Biz era of figures. Finger articulation, these weird... he's got these weird shoulder joints that go back and forth, but they also pivot out. I don't even know why. He's got a torso, mid-torso rotation, ab crunch that doesn't go very far, and a waist. You don't need both of those joints there. The head doesn't really move that much. And then, you know, toe articulation, it does nothing for me. The previous Black Spider-Man I had was this one from, I'm not even sure which wave this figure is from, but he's at least got the white eyes and the white chest, but his arms, he's got no articulation, and his arms are just way too short. So I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll break down and actually buy the Red Hulk Wave Black Spider-Man. Right behind him, we've got the 2008 Spectacular Spider-Man symbiote suit, Secret Wars, Black Alien, whatever you want to call it. I like this figure, I like the style, I like the animation look. I didn't even really know about this line when it came out. I picked him up even though I had recently just picked up this figure, and I thought I was buying the same figure again. But if you look at them, they are a little bit different. I believe they're from the same exact line, but the chest design is a little off. He's got the white web shooter things on his hands where he does not. But posability is pretty much the same. No swivels, but knees, elbows, a torso rotation, and head rotation. I like those figures. I think they're pretty cool. We also grabbed a 1979 Mattel Dr. Hans Zarkov from their Flash Gordon line. Pretty cool line. I remember seeing this line as a kid when G.I. Joe was first hitting the shelves, which I realize is kind of a delay, but I was living in Japan at the time. It was probably about 1982, so even though this figure is from 1979, for whatever reason, it was still on the shelves where we were in Japan. And I remember my brother picking out G.I. Joe figures, and I was looking at Flash Gordon figures, although I eventually bought a Hot Wheels car, so, you know, that's how that went. Over here we've got G1 Teracon, Sinner Twin. He's in pretty good shape. Decals are intact. They still look clean and shiny. He doesn't look like he really got much playwear at all. No weapon, but I do already have Blot, Hunger, Ripper Snapper. So I think at this point all I'm missing is Cutthroat. And then I'll have a full set of Terracons, and then I'll just need to pick up all their miscellaneous bits. Over on the right here we have DC Collectibles New 52 Wonder Woman. She's not a very old figure, but I figured, you know, she was like a buck. I'd grab her anyway. She's got a little bit of a messed up elbow. Elbows, actually I think both of these elbows have popped the inner joint. Not sure if you can see that. So I may have to see if I can boil and pop that back in. Fortunately, her lasso is attached to her, so that's not missing. I think she might have come with a sword. I'm not sure, but I do have a Batman and a Superman from the same line, so it's cool to have all three of those in my personal collection. In the back here, we have a 2010, I don't know, Rotocast vinyl. Not really sure what you would call them. Forearms. Confession here, I don't know jack about the show. I think it was on Netflix for a while, and I probably should have checked it out. But it looks like something that would have been right up my alley had I been the right age when the show came out. But that said, I love a lot of the character designs in this particular figure, who's about 6-7 inches tall. I wish he was a little bit more posable. He's really just got his forearms that have a joint here, like a lot of vinyl or Rotocast figures. But I really dig the look of this thing. I like the size, so he's a cool figure. I'm glad he was there this weekend. Next up, we got the 2001 Power of the Jedi Luke Skywalker in Echo Base Bacta Chamber, which is a must-have, pretty much. Get out of the way here, guys. pretty much a must-have for any figure collection, Star Wars or not, because you can just pull this guy right out of here, take him off of the little loops, and then you have probably the most awkward Luke Skywalker figure in existence. Not sure how many different situations you can put Mark Hamill in a diaper in, but you still have this, and you can pretty much fit any action figure in there that you want. It's open on the bottom, so you can light it from below. If you check out my Instagram feed at HTFblog, B-L-O-G, you'll see I actually did use this in one of my more recent photographs, using one of the vintage Boba Fett figures. And then next up, we've got Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here, just from the vintage Ghostbusters line. This one's not the best one I've ever seen. Magic Eraser will take off some of these dings and dents, clean him up a bit. He's not super white, but I think I can get him back to displayable shape, so he doesn't look like he just came out of a flea market box. We can definitely make him look better. And then over here we've got the 1982 Kenner, Indiana Jones in German uniform, or Nazi, whatever you want to go with there. Cool figure. He's got the spring action for his gun drawing arm, or whip arm, or whatever you want to call it, still works. These figures were always a little weird because they had the very wide sitting stance so that you could put them on horses and motorcycles and stuff. But he's cool. I've never had this one. I think I've got an Indy, maybe a Tote, whatever that guy's name is, maybe a Belloc, but I've never had Indy in that suit, so that's a pretty cool figure. Over here we've got 5 vintage Boba Fetts, various country of origin stamps, various conditions. This one's probably the most beat one, just a regular Hong Kong, missing almost all the paint on his chest, and then here we've got a Taiwan, which is just much bluer. Such a nice looking figure. He's almost missing no paint. He's got a little bit of scratching on his chest here, but still a pretty cool piece. Those are courtesy of a friend of mine who also collects vintage Star Wars stuff. He had 2, and then he managed to find 3 more that day. I don't know how he does it, but I really appreciate it. In the back here we've got Transformers Fracture. It's actually Mirage repainted to look like Crasher. This was a Walmart exclusive. Doesn't have the front piece that goes on the front of her. It's like the weapon, and it's the front end spoiler. It's just a little loose, but this is definitely a piece I wanted to get once I realized it existed. It was something that I didn't actually see when it was in the shops. And a GoBot tribute, a GoBot homage figure. Definitely something that I think is really cool, and glad to see that they did do that. In the back here, we've got 14-inch 2005 Action Cape Batman. Why did I pick this up? If you know me, you know I'm not really a Batman guy. But I don't know, it was tough to pass up. He's in really good condition. Cloth cape. He's basically got DC Universe Classics articulation, except for not having any kind of a ab crunch. He's got thigh swivels, he's got hips, he's got single jointed knees, single jointed elbows, but he's got wrists, bicep swivels, ankles, ankle rockers. It's a pretty cool figure. So that, makes for a nice presentation with some of the other larger scale figures I have, and it's not a bad likeness either. And then way in the back over here, something I have never been able to get my hands on. As featured in our top 10 R-rated toy lines for kids, is the vintage, and I know this is going to be tough to see here in frame, but we've got the vintage Kenner 18-inch alien figure. Get out of the way, guys. He's missing a couple of pieces, as they always are. There's a spine that's supposed to be right on the back of him here. That's missing. These are a little loose, not too bad though. They're intact, they're in good shape. His tail looks good, legs look good. All of his fingers are there. And then, of course, on the top, we're missing the clear plastic dome. And then, if you can see here, the mechanism works to open his jaw, but inside, the actual mouthpiece is no longer intact. So I'll be on the lookout for those pieces. I don't know how expensive they are. He needs a bath, too, to complete a figure like that. But I feel like it's my obligation to at least try to. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you got anything cool at the flea market this weekend. Thanks. Later.